Are we on? I think we're on. Awesome. Let's go. Hello. Thank you so much for buying the ebook. I really appreciate you taking the time and the effort to check it out and also to click the green button. I appreciate there's lots of things on the internet you can buy. So for you to make the decision to buy this is something I really appreciate, and I hope you get a load out of the book, and hopefully this video will help with that too. So thank you so much for that. I love you. You're awesome. I should explain what's going on here. So this is Funny is Money. This is the ebook. I thought I'd do a video with it because when I write stuff down, I go through so many editing things that I cut loads of stuff out. And when I reread the end version, the final version out, it bears very little resemblance to the thing I actually created, the idea that actually sparked it. And, you know, this is what we're talking about here. We're talking about ideas. So I thought if I made a video as well that went along with it, explaining my thoughts behind the ideas and maybe a few expansions and where it came from and different techniques you could use with this, it might be of more value. I can also waffle on a bit more, and it's a bit more relaxed. So it's not a kind of substitute for the book, but it will kind of complement it quite nicely, I think. So let's have a look at the title. Funny is Money. This is something a street performer said to me years ago, and it's always stuck with me. He said, you could be the greatest magician in the world, the best technical magician, you could do the best tricks, the best sleight of hand, but if you're performing on the street, if you're not funny, they will not pay you any money. Funny is money. And that's always stuck with me. Funny is money. And you can see it today. There's stuff that gets shared, there's stuff that gets commented on. People like doing business with people who make them smile. This is really summed up with this idea. Funny is money. But we'll get into the reasons why this is quite a daunting thing in a moment. But the first thing I actually wanted to create was, I thought, well, okay, funny is money. People like being made to laugh by companies. They like telling other people about pleasant experiences, that kind of thing. Surely then people want to learn how to write jokes. But the truth is, even though I love that kind of stuff, I love staring at the blank page, I love, you know, coming up with ideas relating to magic and comedy and stuff like that. I love tweaking things and, you know, seeing what works best. I love that kind of process. Nobody else does. Nobody else on the planet does, it seems. So it's just me. So that's a problem, because people don't want to learn how to be funny. They want the benefit of being seen as funny, which is completely different. Now, the trouble with that is that it doesn't scale at all. You know, I could write a bunch of jokes for somebody, but they would be irrelevant and useless to somebody else. So I'm not going to fill up a joke book with really specific jokes that are very meh, you know, that are so bland and generic that anybody can use them. And similarly, I don't want to go the whole hog of writing jokes that people aren't going to put the time in to use. So this is the kind of like the middle ground. This is ideas, principles, and what I call like 98%. These jokes are 98% are there. All you have to do is, it's almost like filling in the blank, just kind of tweaking it to suit you and your business. So you will have to put pen to paper, but it won't be arduous. You don't need to, take a comedy course or learn joke formulas or anything like that. You just need to sit down and have a think, how does this apply to you? If you're running your own business and you've gone through any kind of marketing exercise before, it won't even be as hard as that. It'll be nice and simple. For the most part, it'll be fun. So, with that talked about, let's get into the introduction, because I just wanted to have a quick chat about the problem people have with humour is they immediately think, I'm not funny. Oh, I'm not a funny person. And I think there's a couple of problems there, mindset related issues. I'm not a big mindset guy, but let's just explore those for a moment. Firstly, let's look at the idea that I'm not funny. Like, people come out of the womb naturally hilarious. They don't. Humour, like any skill, is one that can be developed. I can't play the violin, but I don't say I'm not a violinist. I'm incapable of violining. I am incapable of violining, but it's only because I've never picked up the damn thing to practice. And it's the same with humour. You're not funny because you've never put the time and work into learning what makes jokes work, creating your own, testing them out, tweaking them, feedback, that kind of thing. So never again say, I'm not funny. And the bottom line is you've probably made somebody laugh in your life at some point, whether it's a child or an old man or something like that. I don't know. It's like you've probably done something or said something or created a moment that's made somebody titter, giggle, laugh, something like that. I'm betting you have anyway. So don't ever again say, I'm not funny. The other disadvantage with this kind of mindset is that it kind of creates the belief that it's either one or the other. Like you're either hilarious or you're not funny at all. When the reality is that humour is more a sliding scale. You can be a little bit funny, or you can be funny some of the time, or you can be funny most of the time, or you can be funny not at all but only at Christmas once you've had a sherry. So there are scales here, and it's a scale that you can move on. You can get better at being funny. So that's one of the big mindset shifts I want to talk about. And I mentioned about this in the introduction. Just start getting out of your own way. You can be funny. You have been funny before. And you will be funny again, especially if you put some of these ideas in. And as you'll see, when it actually comes to creating humour in your work or wherever, it's actually quite boring. It's very process driven. You know, most people who create jokes, they have a work rate that makes accountants look shabby. So just catch yourself if you say things like, I'm not funny. Because you are, and you can be. So here's one of the most important points in the middle. It's not about telling jokes, and it's not about being the most hilarious person in the room. When it comes to business, often you don't want extreme views. And I mean extreme in any sense of the word, not just like, you know, like racist or homophobic or anything like that. I'm not talking about that. I'm just meaning like with business, it's just an edge you're looking for. You're just looking for something that makes you stand out from the competition. And being a little bit funny, a little bit lighthearted, a fun kind of person to follow on YouTube, a fun kind of person to follow on social media, can make a big difference. It's like just 1% funny is enough to separate you. So that's the mindset I kind of want you to adopt when we're going through this. Is just take it one step at a time and just make little changes here and there. Maybe you begin by just changing something in your email. And then maybe you just change the tone of your web copy. Then maybe your sales script, you know, you add something to your sales script, that kind of thing. And the last thing I want to talk about is the myth that I think this is quite an important point. I think that people still do the Dear Sir and Madam because they believe that their capability is directly proportionate to the level of seriousness. So if we send a Dear Sir or Madam email, we presume the person on the other end's going, they must be very capable at their job. You know, somehow if we address it properly, we capitalise the right words, we use the right, you know, we use sincerely and faithfully at the right time. If we somehow get all these formalities in place and use them correctly, the recipient will go, they're going to be good to do business with. When the reality is, it's not the case. It's, you know, most of the time, if we get an email that's, hi John, or blah, blah, it's funny, or it's got a GIF in it, or it's got a picture, or they've taken the time to do something funny, or call back to something we said in a previous conversation, those are the ones that are the more memorable ones. So that's the thing I want you to get in your mind, is just begin getting out of your way. Stop yourself from saying, I'm not funny. Stop yourself from setting a high bar for, once I get to a comedy club level comic, then I'll start being funny. You know, your capability is not related to your level of seriousness. So take it easy, relax. We're just looking for fun and light-hearted. Okay, we talk all the time about the fact that the buying process is know, like, and trust. And if you are fun and light-hearted, not funny, hilarious, laugh out loud all the time, just fun, just nice. When they see you appearing in their inbox or on social media, they go, I'll check out what they say. You're already further along that ladder than the Dear Sir crowd. So just think of it as just being light-hearted, fun, and playful. Because humour, as it says here, humour helps you sell. I forget who said it, but it said nothing focuses attention and lowers resistance more than humour. And the best example is this, the one I put there at the bottom. If you've been to if you've been to a comedy club and seen the audience, when the comic is on, the entire room is focused and listening to the comedian. Nobody's checking the phone, nobody's checking the latest results, browsing Facebook, or chatting about shopping or something like that. It's all about the comic. It is total rapt attention. So humour, comedy is that powerful. Humour maximises the attention and lowers their resistance. It's how they accept ideas. So, but again, don't use that as a barrier to thinking, oh God, I need to be really funny to make this work. You don't. You just need to be a little bit different, just a little bit different to stand out from the crowd. And as you'll see throughout these ideas, it's not that hard to do. So get out of your own way, be open-minded about it, and have fun. There's no perfect here, just have fun. Trying a few of the ideas and coming up with your own. Go nuts. You've got my contact details there. If you come up with your own ideas, let me know what they are. I'd love to steal them and then take credit for them. Only joking. I'd give you a virtual high five if I could. And I will. So that's the introduction. I hope you enjoyed the book. We'll go through some of the ideas in the next video, and then we'll do another video with the last 17 or so. And yeah, I'll see you on the next video.